Welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. The purpose of this screencast is to tell you a little bit about the course and review the expectations outlined in the syllabus, so I don't have to bore you too much on the first day of class. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jennifer Doctor, and yes, Dr. Doctor, and I am an assistant professor in the physics department, but I also work closely with the School of Education to prepare future educators in science. I'm originally from a small town in North Dakota called Jamestown, but I also lived in Minnesota and in Illinois before coming here to Wisconsin 2 years ago. My husband is Dr. Ben Anderson, who teaches in the math department, so maybe you've seen him around on campus. One of my hobbies is crocheting, and I also play the piano. So that's a little bit about me. During the first week of class, you'll complete an introductory survey so you can tell me a little bit more about you and what you hope to get out of this class. Now I'll tell you a little bit more about the class itself. Physics 106 is an introductory physics class, so the main objective of the class is for you to learn physical science content and how to engage in scientific practices such as planning and carrying out investigations. So what makes this class distinctly different from other science classes you may have taken on campus is that it's been specially designed for you, for future teachers of elementary and middle school students. So many of the activities and the demonstrations we'll do can be adapted to be used with younger children. And in fact, the electric circuits unit that we do is the exact same one that they do in 4th grade over at Emerson Elementary School. So if you take a look at the syllabus, which you can either download from D2L or I'll give you a copy on the first day of class, you'll see that the top part includes my contact information and office hours. I also do office hours by appointment, so if Tuesday or Thursday afternoon doesn't work for you, send me an email. We'll find another time to meet. All of the materials, curricular materials we'll use, will be provided to you as handouts in class or also in electronic form on D2L. But you'll see that there are some supplementary texts available in the bookstore for rental if you want to have an additional resource. You'll also need a calculator, and note that cell phone calculators are not permitted during quizzes and exams. So the format of the class is what we call an integrated lab and lecture. That's why the class lasts for 2.5 hours. So we'll be combining a lot of hands-on, minds-on activities with some direct instruction kind of sprinkled in as we need it. All of the PowerPoint slides I'll be using will be posted to D2L, hopefully the day before I'll be using them. The main topics in this course include matter, motion, electric circuits, magnets, and waves. And waves includes things like sound and music and light and color. So in addition to learning about these science topics, we'll also be considering common difficulties that young children have when learning about science, and we'll also be exploring the new science standards which just came out in April of 2013. It's really exciting. These are called the Next Generation Science Standards. So here are a few pictures of the in-class projects we do, like building roller coasters out of pipe insulation and marbles. You can just see all these smiling faces excited about learning physics. Here's some more. Maybe you recognize a few faces. And in the sound and music unit, we also do an idol band competition with homemade instruments. You can see some coordinated outfits here. Just some things for you to look forward to. So you'll note in the course expectations that I do take attendance in this class because I really feel that as future teachers, it's important for you to illustrate the dispositions of the teaching profession, which includes valuing the learning experience and being an active participant in the learning experience. So if you know that you're going to miss a class, please send me an email in advance. I do allow you to use electronic devices during class, such as cell phones and laptops. However, I do ask that you'll please be respectful. If someone's talking, either me or one of your peers, just please refrain from texting or using your phone. Just use common sense with that. So here's the part that you probably really care about, the assignments and the grading scale. You'll note that most of your grade is going to be based on exams and quizzes. So there are 3 exams, and those will each contain 50 multiple choice questions. There are also 5 quizzes, which are going to be a combination of short answer and multiple choice questions. And I'll usually post a practice quiz or practice exam at least a week in advance so you can see the format and also help you study for those. More information about these other things on here, the journals and the homework, will be provided in class and on D2L. Most of those will be submitted either through D2L or on an online Google form like you use for the introductory course survey. You'll also notice that I use a points grading scale where the total number of points in the class is 600, so you can use these charts later in the semester to figure out what you need to get a particular grade. So I want to tell you a little bit more about one of the projects that we do in this class. It's called the House Wiring Project. So as part of the Electric Circuits unit, you'll do a project with your group, which is the people you're sitting with at your table, where you design and build a model house, which is going to be wired by batteries, light bulbs, and motors. And I'll show you a couple of pictures here, but you'll be required to not only build the house, but also prepare a PowerPoint presentation for the class that meets specific criteria and write a written report. So here are some of the themes that people have chosen over the years. You'll see some of these are marked with first, second, and third place ribbons because as a class we vote on our favorite houses. You can also see that usually in the fall semester it comes right around that Halloween time, so we get some themes that are related to Halloween. Alright, so hopefully this is giving you some ideas of what could be involved in this house wiring project. So another project in the class that's really exciting is we have this great partnership with the Children's Museum of La Crosse, which is downtown. We do a service learning project during what they're starting to call their STEM Saturday events. So you and a partner will select a demonstration or activity from class and display it for children at the museum. I'll be posting a sign-up sheet in the classroom during like the second or third week of the semester. You can see there are 3 Saturday dates listed on the syllabus, which each have 2 show times, and a maximum of 4 groups can sign up for each show time. So maybe you want to start checking your calendar now and choosing a date. So I'll show you some pictures of some of the popular choices of demonstrations and activities. You can see that the hovercraft is always enjoyed by the children. There's an air bazooka, which shoots a ping pong ball through some soda cans. There's also sinking and floating, which relates to matter. You can bring a bunch of different items to test out in the fish aquarium. In the electricity unit, you can either bring the Van de Graaff generator, which makes their hair stand up. You can also bring the Fun Fly stick, which makes this piece of tinfoil hover above the stick due to the static electricity. You can also do something to do with electric circuits and building simple circuits. There's magnets, and there's also sound and music. So hopefully that gives you just a couple of ideas of what's possible for that project. The last part of the syllabus is just the standard kind of thing, reminding you to abide by the rules for academic conduct that are set out by the university. And then you'll notice that there's a calendar. So you can see that all of the units are kind of laid out by how many days we're going to spend on each unit, along with the deadlines for homework, quizzes, and those exams. So when I post PowerPoint slides to D2L, I'll use these labels that you see on the syllabus. So for example, Matter Day 1 would refer to the slides that are going to be used on the first day of class. You'll see that many of the deadlines do have a time on them. Actually, the introductory survey is due at midnight, not 5 p.m., so you have a little bit more time on that. But in general, homework and journals will be due by 5 p.m. on Friday. You can see also that the Children's Museum dates are labeled on there. And then when we get to the house wiring project, that actually takes up that whole week. You'll have some work time and then also the presentations. And the third exam actually is not cumulative, but it takes place during the final exam time. It'll just be covering sound and light. So you can kind of get a general sense of where we're at right now and where we're headed. So again, I just want to say welcome to Physics 106, Physical Science for Educators. I'm excited to meet you and get to know you better. Check the D2L news section for additional announcements, and remember to respond to the introductory course survey by midnight on the first Friday of the semester. One of the items on the survey will ask you what questions you have about the syllabus and the course expectations so that we can get those cleared up in the second week of class. So I look forward to seeing you soon.